People worry about relationships. Meanwhile, I'm bonding with my existential crisis. Like, this is such a joke. People try to, oh, like, should I text this girl? Or like, oh, would this person like me? Will my partner cheat on me? Like, dude, you guys are so anxious and constantly stressful. Like, look at my life, like, I've dealt with the freaking existential crisis for months, and at this point, it's my best friend. Like, I can literally call it like that. Every single morning when I wake up, the only thing that I think of is like, shit, dude, what existential crisis like gonna hit me again today? Like, I just don't know. Some days, it is nihilism. Some days it is like, I don't know, just like some sort of like universe thinking stuff. Sometimes I feel like did some research about like antimatter. If you don't know what that is, essentially it is like the opposite of the matter in our body, right? We are made of matter, like just like matter, okay? And there is something called antimatter, which is the opposite. And if like these two things, like happen to touch each other, then boom, there's going to be like, I don't know what to call it, but it is going to expand or like, but essentially, okay, just like basically these two, how to call it, entities are going to vanish, okay? Imagine there can be another being made entirely out of antimatter, just like me, it can look exactly like you or like me, it can be like a human being, just hypothetically, because in fact, it is possible, okay? Because everything is just the same as us, but it's just like the opposite of our matter. So if we happen to like touch each other with like antimatter, and don't worry, like antimatter on Earth is so little, and we can find it in the sun, and it's really hard to get it from there since otherwise you get burned and stuff. But yeah, a little off of like topic. I mean, not off that much, but like, what I'm saying? Like, this is like literally what I'm thinking on a daily basis, while people are worrying about like, damn, dude, how can I get a girl, and stuff like, oh, I don't know whether she would like me back or not. Like, dude, look at my life, man. At this point, I'm just like vibing with, I don't know, invisible existential entity, like every single day it will come in my head and I'm just thinking about it automatically. It is like my nature to be what is the precise term for it? I don't know, I'm just like curious about stuff and just like research about it, and it is quite satisfying rather than having a partner that, I don't know, maybe she's hot, but you have to be continuously scared that she will cheat on you, or you gotta deal with like a bunch of girls because you are hot, right? And you get to divide your time for each person. Dude, like, I think talking to many people simultaneously is the dumbest thing that a person can do. Why? Like, I mean, literally for you, no morality, like, we don't have to like talk about morality here, okay? Just purely about you. I mean, like, think about it, okay? I don't know how to put it into words, but I think explain this like better. If you talk to like multiple girls at the same time, 1, 2, 3, 4, dude, you were wasting your time. Of course, like, you feel amusing, or you're having fun and you feel validated because like, oh, many girls want me, right? I mean, that's good, right? I'm gonna admit that it is good, but don't forget that you gotta like deal with like these like individuals, like spending, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours a day just to like chatting with them and like video calling with them. Dude, you could have spent those times playing a video game, go to the gym, read a book, watch a Netflix, hanging out with your friends, call your family. Like, dude, just like in a fleeting moment, I can name a bunch of things rather than like wasting your time just to feel validated by some random chicks that I'm pretty sure that these aren't the love of your life. So why would you waste your time? Like seriously. Of course, I'm not saying that, oh, so you're saying that it is better not to be attractive or something, or like not being liked. I'm not saying that, okay? Like if they text you, you just like be for real, you know, if they want to um evolve in terms of relationship, and if you don't want, just tell them, you know, like straightforward and like, oh, I don't think we are a good match whatsoever, like for your sake and for her. It's not about like being a good person, it is literally like and entirely for you. You would have much more time, okay? I just like don't get it, you know. If you were to rely on people all the time for validation or like just to feel joy or pleasure or happiness, then dude, one day you're going to be dead when you are in an unforeseen situation that you have to be self-reliant. You will be doomed, you know, because you have never learned how to deal with silence or self-reliance. Okay, just it is okay, you know, like if some girls like you, just I just don't think that you should like play a game with them, okay? Just chilling, you know, in I don't know, man, like I said, you know, I'm just chilling in my room at this point. In I'm being for real. I feel happier staying in this cave or prison, whatever that you want to define it, than going outside. Literally, like, I don't know, a week ago, my teacher, he was worried about me because I told him that I spent the vast majority of my time in this room, which is entirely true. I don't go outside, I don't go to a random restaurant, I don't go to the gym, I don't have a club, or I don't hang out with friends because I don't have one. And honestly, partially it is because of myself, you know, I cut all of my friends, even though we shared remarkable memories together, but it is for my own good, okay? And, you know, things need to be done if you are mature enough. And just like that, you know, and I live alone and I'm fine. Like, literally. Right now, in fact, I just like want to take a nap, and I don't know if I'm gonna eat another meal, but I don't think so, I suppose. But yeah, I feel like being alone is not so bad at all, because at some point in your life, if you are a normal person, you are not that lucky that you get married since a very young age, like people from social media. I don't know, like I see some people like they get married since 2019. Like, dude, congrats, you know. I'm happy for all of you. I wish that one day that day will come to mind too. So deal with my own thoughts, you know, and I don't encourage you to be on social media that much. And the reason why, I don't think my reason is the same as others. It is not about your attention span or addiction, but rather how it influences your emotions and thoughts and also beliefs. Why am I saying that? You probably think that like, of course, it's going to influence how I think. Are you fucking dumbass? Because I consume like media from it. And that's the point, you know, like the algorithm, it chooses content for you, you know, it keeps feeding you information that you are not the one who chooses it. So it is like you are kind of indirectly being brainwashed. I mean, it's a really good term for it. Imagine if you were born, right? And I'm conditioning you to live in a lab far away from the world, you know, like in a cell, huge cell, like a white room. I'm gonna teach you only the things that I want you to know. For example, I teach you how to be an extremist, you know, like I don't know, radical MAGA, right? I'm gonna teach you that you gotta believe in Jesus Christ, in people who are on the left are horrible terrorists, sexists, you know, and just idiots. like this, right? And I keep teaching you like that for 20 years, and I don't give you evidence to support the other side, from the left at all. You are going to be the most extreme, radical right person ever, okay? And that's how it's going to be. This analogy is the same with the example that I gave you before, because since you didn't choose to consume those contents, okay, it will be wiser for you to choose it yourself. For instance, if you know that you are interested in philosophy, then I would recommend you to do some research. And if you don't have time, the easiest way to do it, just listen to podcasts, open an app podcast and just listen to it when you go for a run, or just download some YouTube videos and then just listen to it later on when you got time, you're on a train, on a bus, or while you're walking, even though it might not be the most effective approach to learn something, but at least you learn something, okay? And yeah, that is how like I deal with my existential crisis, because when you kind of don't have any outdoor activities and just like live alone like me, and don't talk to anyone at all, you just like have to have something going on in your life. And to me, I'm pretty chill, I'm fine with being consumed. Not being consumed, I would say that like I'm vibing, with the fucking like invisible existential entity, I mean that it is kind of a weird term, but if you know, you know, okay? Because if you think about it very often, you kind of get used to it. We are adaptive creature, so we'll be fine with it. But of course, I don't want to end with like nuance, but people don't like it, people just like when things are black and white. It is either good or bad, that's it. But in fact, it is not for everyone. I understand it, because like for some people, if their life circumstance is miserable and extremely depressing, then this might not be good. I would suggest you to have a support system, like talk to someone. And I mean, like, it is quite contradictory, with my claim, not my claim, but like how I display my position, which is that, I would rather being alone with my body existential crisis entity than like talking to like many ghosts, which is a waste of time to me. Because for some people it can be really helpful. I acknowledge that, since it is scary when you have nothing going on in your life, you have nothing to do, you feel shit all the time, and your biggest fears will surface when you are alone, sitting in silence. And yeah, just get it. So at the end of the day, it's all up to you. I'm just another guy living my own life in my own way. You also have yours. So thanks a lot for watching. This video is quite long, and see you in the next one.